When part 1 ended, I sat in silence for a long time. There was this strange feeling, like something old had quietly awakened, something that wasn't finished speaking yet. You know that moment when a curtain lifts only halfway, and you can sense there's a much bigger world behind it? That's exactly where we are standing right now. Part 2 isn't just the next chapter. It's the moment everything starts to align. The patterns we touched in part 1, the symbols, the precision, the quiet intelligence behind every ancient design, they weren't random. They were invitations. And in these next moments, we begin to see what those invitations were pointing to. Because part 2 takes us from curiosity to recognition, from looking at pieces to finally sensing the shape they form. This is where the map of light begins to reveal itself, not all at once, but like a slow sunrise. If you're listening right now, stay with me. What you're about to discover has the power to shift how you see ancient India and how you see yourself. Welcome to India Unwritten, Part 2, Beyond Times.
Our days back! You stole 11 days!
Jessica, there's something strange I learned recently. Did you know there was a time when the world literally deleted days from the calendar? Yes, 11 days, erased. Not stolen, not lost, just removed.
But why would anyone erase 11 days?
Because the old Julian calendar was slightly wrong. It assumed the year was 365.25 days, but the real solar year is 365.2422. Just an 11-minute error each year.
And over centuries, that tiny error became huge.
Exactly. The seasons drifted, festivals shifted, the calendar no longer matched the sun. So the only way to correct it was to delete 11 days and realign time itself.
People must have panicked.
They did. People shouted in the streets, "Give us our days back!"
Year 1752, Britain changes its calendar. To align with the sun, 11 days vanish. September 3rd becomes September 14th overnight. The world adjusts its numbers. The sun does nothing.
Here, we never chased the sun. We waited for it. Every village kept its own meridian. Time began at first light. When the British arrived, they wanted to rule that too. So they built a line through London, Greenwich Mean Time.
And we were already living on Sunrise Standard Time.
Exactly. Our clock was a shadow on a stone. Their clock was a shadow on an empire. That's why India falls under GMT plus 5:30. That's approximate time of sunrise in India today as well.
The disk turns 48 times a day. Each mark a muhurta, 48 minutes each.
The oldest time zones weren't divided by longitude, but by light.
Look here. Why does their year start with January? Because Rome once worshipped a god with two faces, Janus, guardian of doors and beginnings. He looked both forward and backward, whispering like a door hinge between years.
But that wasn't always the first month?
No, Before that, the Roman calendar began with March, the month of Mars, their war god. Because the year truly began when winter ended and armies could move. So, September, October, November, December were the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th months. Their names still say it: Sep, October, November, December. From our own Sanskrit roots, Sapta, Ashta, Navadash.
So after they added January and February ahead, all the numbers shifted. But the names stayed the same.
Yes, time moved. Language did not. A calendar with a memory glitch.
Even their months carry Indian accents and software bugs.
And look further, April from aperire, to open, as flowers open. May from Maya, the mother goddess of growth, our Maya, the creative force. June from Juno, the goddess of marriage, our Yogini. July for Julius Caesar. August for Augustus. But every number and season before them echoes Sanskrit sound.
India had no need to rename months after rulers. We named them after rhythms of the sky. Chaitra, Vaishakha, Jyeshtha, Ashadha, Shravana, Bhadrapada, Ashvina, Kartika, Margashirsha, Pausha, Magha, Falguna. Each month a mood, each season a song.
When the British fixed time in Greenwich, they meant here is the center of the world. But for us, every sunrise was a new Greenwich, a personal dawn standard. Time didn't belong to longitude, it belonged to consciousness.
Their clocks ticked from a line on a map. Ours breathed with the earth. Maybe the real Greenwich was never in London at all. It was where the first ray of light touched India each morning. We follow the Thar west, past Longewala and the salt flats of Kutch, toward a horizon that was once no border at all. 2,000 years before maps, merchants and monks walked this very path. Their footsteps would carry India's fire into another world.
The Rig Veda calls him Agni, the flame that connects earth and sky. In Persia, he became Atar. Same element, same reverence, only the pronunciation changed with the wind.
So even their sacred fire was born from ours?
Yes. And look at the gods of friendship. Mitra in Persia, Mitra in our Vedas, guardian of oaths and contracts. The word Mitra simply means friend. When they say Mitraism, they're talking about the religion of friendship.
That's beautiful. Trade routes as trust routes.
Exactly. Arya in our text was a moral title, the noble one. In Persian, it became Arya, the honorable. The land of these people was called Parthava, Persia. Our Parshuram clan once ruled there. Names wander, ethics stay.
I am Darius, the Aryan, the son of an Aryan. Even their royal declarations echo India's old vocabulary.
They kept our language like a family photo in their palaces.
Asha Vahishta. Truth is the best.
That is their Asha, our Rita, cosmic order. Their Zarathustra taught what our rishis sang. Let truth prevail through fire.
Standing before the sacred flame, I realize how civilizations don't replace each other. They overlap, like sand dunes in wind.
Even the name Palestine sounds like Palistan, land of Pali speech. Could our monks have carried language that far?
They did. Buddhist missionaries walked from Taxila through Bactria into Syria and Palestine. The Pali tongue became their bridge of peace. When you say Stan, you're speaking Sanskrit for place.
So, Afghanistan, Pakistan, all carry India's suffix stan, the place of. Language is the oldest passport.
And when the world forgets that, conflict begins. Every time we say Namaste, we restore it. I bow to the divine in you. Persia once answered with Namaz. Different gesture, same root.
The fire we saw in Harappa found a new altar in Persia. The songs of Mitra became Mithraic hymns in Rome. The word Adya traveled without passport and came home each time someone chose nobility over pride. North of Persia, the trail bends into frost. The caravan dissolves into tundra. But the language doesn't stop. It changes its accent, not its soul.
From the family of Manu, one tribe, Anu, moved north. Their descendants were called Danu. Wherever they settled, they named rivers after her. The Danube, the Don, the Dnieper, the Dniester. All still singing the syllables of their mother.
Europe's waters are whispering Sanskrit.
Even Ireland remembers her, the goddess Danu, mother of the divine race Tuha De Danan. When the memory of Saraswati faded here, her echo woke in the west.
And those who kept moving became the builders of Europe.
Yes, the Saka tribes, our Scythians, carried fire and metallurgy through Central Asia. Over time, their name became Saxon. The Sanskrit Shaka turned into Sax, the people of the blade. But their sharpness was craft, not conquest.
The Norse call their gods Aesir and their heaven Asgard, both words breathing the same root as our Asura, the western sons of Manu. Their thunder god Thor still thunders with the tone of our Tara, goddess of protection.
And their sacred songs, the Eddas, sound like an echo of the Vedas. Both were oral hymns about gods, fire, sacrifice, and order. Even the word Edda in Old Norse means great-grandmother, the one who remembers. Exactly what Veda means in Sanskrit, knowledge that remembers itself.
Different music, same memory. The caravan ends at sea. Here the map turns to water, and myth becomes voyage.
Our legends tell of Skanda Kumara, Kartikeya, the warrior child of Shiva and Parvati. Not a soldier, but a traveler. He sailed the oceans in his Navya, his boat, carrying the Vedic fire to the ends of the earth.
So Skanda Navya, Skanda's boat, became the name of the northern land he reached. Skandnavia, Scandinavia.
Exactly. The sailors who followed him saw two faces of the same land. When they reached in summer, the sky never slept. A realm of light they called Swarg. From Swarg, heaven. When they returned in winter, darkness lasted for months. A realm of night they called Narg. From Naraka, the underworld.
Even today, Sweden and Norway, the bright heaven and the cold abyss, two faces of the same Skanda legend. From Sarasvati's delta to the fords of Norway, the same syllables traveled like migrating swans. They carried more than language. They carried light.
The northern winds fall silent now.
And before we sail toward the ocean again, there is one more memory to uncover. A miracle carved by a sage who drained a sea to create a valley of heaven. The world would one day call it Kashmir. Our map of memory reaches a valley cradled by snow, a land the world calls Kashmir. But its first name was Kashyapamira, the lake of sage Kashyapa.
Legend says this valley was once an inland sea, locked by mountains on every side. Demons had made it their fortress. Then, sage Kashyapa, son of the creator Brahma, arrived to free it.
Kashyapo bhoot sanadim vimunchati. The sage struck the earth and released the river.
With his staff, Kashyapa opened a cleft in the mountains. Waters rushed out in a roaring flood. The sea became a valley, and life began to bloom.
So Kashmir was born not from conquest, but from release. A lake turned to land, a flood turned to fertility.
Creation by compassion, not destruction.
Exactly. That is why they called it Kashyapamira, the lake that became a home. Over time, the name softened. Kashyapmira, Kashmira, Kashmir.
Even today, the rivers of Kashmir are said to remember the moment the mountains opened, the sound of freedom carved in stone. We stand where land once met the unknown. Lethal, the world's first dockyard. 5,000 years ago, Indian engineers here designed the science of tides. The sea was not fear, it was invitation.
They built channels to welcome the ocean, locks to measure the moon. Navigation here was worship. The mariner's prayer was the Gayatri mantra.
And those roots, they still exist?
Yes, even when the world forgot, the winds remembered. The same monsoon routes carried Roman traders east, Chinese silk west, and long after kingdoms crumbled, India's compass still pointed true.
Year 1498. A Portuguese fleet drifts near Calicut. History calls it the discovery of India. But for India, it was simply a welcome back.
We have reached the land of spices,
Finally, the East. Their Admiral Vasco da Gama did not find India on his own. An Indian pilot from Gujarat led his ships, following trade winds our ancestors had mapped 3,000 years earlier.
So he wasn't discovering us. He was being guided home by us.
Exactly. He carried greed, we gave him direction.
From that meeting began centuries of confusion. The West thought it had found a route to India, not realizing India had always been the route to the world. From the heart of that same philosophy came a story of love. Princess Gauri of Ayodhya, who sailed east carrying both her heart and her homeland.
My father said, "The ocean does not divide lands, my daughter. It connects souls. I go where the sun rises, to share the light, not to conquer."
When her ship appeared, the sea itself bowed. We crowned her Queen Hyo Hwang Ok, and she became the mother of our dynasty.
Even today in Korea, her shrine stands. And in Ayodhya, a Korean delegation offers lotus flowers at the Sarayu. The circle continues.
From the ports of Lothal to the palaces of Gaya, India's greatest export was not silk, spice, or steel. It was spirit.
From the banks of the Sarasvati to the peaks of Kashyapa's mountains, from Harappa's precision to Lothal's tides, from Persia's flame to Scandinavia's snow, one voice has guided the world for thousands of years. The voice of Bharata.
A civilization that never invaded, yet influenced every corner of Earth. A land that held 1/3 of the world's wealth, yet chose to measure its greatness not in gold, but in goodness.
The world borrowed our sciences, our numbers, our stories, but could never borrow our soul.
Because our soul is Sanatan Dharma, the eternal law that existed before every scripture, before Abraham, before Moses, before Christ, before Muhammad. The rhythm that beats beneath every faith. Truth has won. The wise call it by many names.
The West built kingdoms. India built consciousness. Empires rose and fell, but our rivers kept flowing, carrying not armies, but ideas.
We gave the world its first universities, Takshashila, Nalanda. The first surgeons, the first chemists, the first astronomers. We charted the stars, the seasons, and the self. We discovered zero, not as nothing, but as infinite possibility.
Before any nation learned to pray, India was already listening, not to commandments, but to consciousness itself. Now I understand. Leadership, wisdom, faith, they all began here, on this soil where even silence teaches.
Yes, Bharat was not built by conquest. It was built by realization, by the courage to see all beings as one family. That is the secret of our endurance, the strength of love disguised as humility.
From the rishi who released a valley to the princess who bridged two nations, from the sailors of Lothal to the monks of Nalanda, India's message has never changed. We do not conquer the world. We complete it.
The world searched for God in heaven. We realized heaven in the heart. That is India.
We measured the world, and then we taught it how to measure the soul. We never stopped calling it home. As we pause here, just notice what shifted inside you. Part 2 has only just begun, and the path ahead opens into something even more deliberate, even more luminous. Let the insights settle. Let the questions stay alive, and let curiosity lead you into the next moment of this journey. Thank you for listening to Beyond the Battlefield. If this episode moved you, inspire someone else, share it, subscribe, and write to us at beyondthebattlefield@outlook.in. And don't forget to explore the GPT companion link in the description. Your deeper journey continues there. Until next time, stay open, stay observant, and stay connected to the light unfolding within you.